with coins spilling out of it. Another very skinny woman drew a big serving plate with a kind of Devonshire pattern on it. I drew a huge black dot with little squiggly lines in it. The black dot was equal to a hole in space, and the squiggly lines were meant to be the people or the things, or just your basic atoms that got lost there. I had always thought of my vagina as an anatomical vacuum randomly sucking up particles and objects from the surrounding environment. I did not think of my vagina in practical or biological terms. I did not, for example, see it as something attached to me. In the workshop, we were asked to look at our vaginas with hand mirrors. Then, after a careful examination, we were to verbally report to the group what we saw. I must tell you that up until this very point, everything I knew about my vagina was based on hearsay or invention. I had never really seen the thing. It never had occurred to me to even look at it. My vagina existed for me on some very abstract plane. It seemed so reductive and so awkward looking at it like we were in a workshop on our shiny blue mats with our hand mirrors. It reminds me of how the early astronomers must have felt with their primitive telescopes. I found it quite unsettling at first, my vagina. Like the first time you see a fish cut open and you discover this outer, bloody, complex world inside, right underneath the skin. It was so raw and so red and so fresh. And the thing that surprised me the most were all the layers. Layers inside layers, opening and closing into more layers. My vagina, it amazed me. I couldn't speak when it came my turn in the workshop. I was speechless. I had awakened to what the women who ran the workshop called vaginal wonder. I just wanted to lay there on my mat, my legs spread, examining my vagina forever. It was better than the Grand Canyon. It was ancient and full of grace. It had the innocence and freshness of a proper English garden. It was funny, and it was very, very funny. It made me laugh. It could hide and seek, and it could open and close. Then, the woman who ran the workshop asked how many women in the workshop had orgasms. 2 women tentatively raised their hand. I didn't raise my hand, but I had orgasms. I didn't raise my hand because they were accidental orgasms. They happened to me. They happened in my dreams, and I would wake up in splendor. They would happen a lot in water, mostly in a bath, once on Cape Cod. They happened on horses, on bicycles, sometimes on the treadmill at the gym. I did not raise my hand because although I had orgasms, I did not know how to make one happen. I thought it was a mystical, magical thing. I didn't want to interfere. It felt wrong getting involved. It felt contrived and manipulative. It felt very Hollywood. The surprise would be gone. The mystery. But the problem, of course, was that the surprise had been gone for 2 whole years. I hadn't had a magical, accidental orgasm in a very long time, and I was frantic. That's why I was in the Vagina workshop. And then the moment had arrived that I both dreaded and I longed for. The woman who ran the workshop asked us to take out our hand mirrors again and see if we could locate our clitoris. We were there, the group of us women, on our backs, on our mats, searching for our spots, our locus, our reason. And I don't know why, but I started to cry. Maybe it was sheer embarrassment. Maybe it was knowing that I had to give up this fantasy, the enormous life-consuming fantasy that someone or something was going to do this for me? The fantasy that someone was coming to lead in my life, to choose direction, to give me orgasms? I could feel the panic coming. The simultaneous terror and the realization that I had avoided finding my clitoris, had rationalized it as mainstream and consumerist because I was in fact terrified that I did not have a clitoris. I was one of those constitutionally incapables, one of those frigid, dead, shut down, dry, apricot-tasting, bitter, oh my God. I lay there with my mirror, looking for my spot, reaching with my fingers, and all I could think about was the time I was 10 and I lost my gold ring with the emeralds in a lake. How I kept diving over and over to the bottom of the lake with my hands running under the stones and the fish and the bottle caps and the slime stuff, but never my ring. The panic I felt, I knew I'd be punished. The woman who ran the Vagina workshop saw my insane scrambling and searching, sweating and heavy breathing. She came over, I told her, and I told her over and over, it's gone! It's gone! I've lost my ring! I've lost my clitoris! I shouldn't have worn it swimming! The woman who ran the workshop laughed! She calmly stroked my forehead. She told me that my clitoris was not something I could lose. It was me. She said the essence of me. It was both the doorbell to my house and it was the house itself. I didn't have to find it. I had to be it. Be it. Be my clitoris. Be my clitoris. I lay back and closed my eyes. I put the mirror down and I watched myself, floating above myself. I watched as I slowly began to approach myself and re-enter. I felt like an astronaut re-entering the surface of the earth. I was very quiet, this re-entry. Quiet and very gentle. I bounced and I landed. Landed and bounced. I came into my muscles and the blood cells and then I slid into my vagina. It was suddenly easy and I fit. I was all warm and pulsing and ready and young and alive, and then without looking, my eyes so closed, I put my finger on what suddenly had become me. There was a little quivering at first, which urged me to stay. Then the quivering became a shake and an eruption, and the layers dividing and subdividing. The quake broke open into an ancient horizon of light and silence, which opened onto a plane of music and colors and innocence and longing, and I felt connection, calling, connection, as I lay there crashing on my little blue mat. My vagina is a shell. It is a tulip and a destiny. I am arriving as I'm beginning to leave. My vagina, me.
This is from a woman, an intimate geography by Natalie Angers. The clitoris is pure in purpose. It is the only organ in the body designed purely for pleasure. The clitoris is simply a bundle of nerves, 8,000 nerve fibers, not fibers to be precise. That's a higher concentration of nerve fibers than is found anywhere else in the male or female body, including the fingertips, lips, and tongue. And it's twice the number in the penis. Who needs a handgun when you've got a semi-automatic?